70,000, 80,000 people. A lot of people. What do you mean here? Glad you could pop in. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. It don't cost you nothing. It's free. Remember, you can leave a comment. Protected of the First Amendment. I want to do something a little different here. Your right to defend yourselves is the right of self-preservation, which is God's right, technically. Every thing on this planet has that right. But when we talk about something here, that when it comes to these mass shootings, they're all over the internet, they're all over the news media, you see these politicians stand behind the podium and they give their speeches, why we need more gun laws, we need to ban the AR-15, we need to do this, we need to do that. We need to hold these people accountable. Our Republican colleagues don't want to do this. Republicans are saying that Democrats don't want to do this. This whole thing goes back and forth, okay? But you know, when politicians defy the Supreme Court, says a lot, don't it? Says a lot about your life, right? Let's switch this around a little bit. We all know about the problem at the border, right? We all know about the drug called fentanyl. There's also other drugs out there too besides fentanyl, but fentanyl seems to be the one that takes the front seat of this mess. Now, this is what I don't understand. Mass shootings are horrible in your malls, your schools, public outings. They're horrific. There is no more word I could say that they're horrible. They're horrific for what they are. Deranged people who put their information on the internet or whatever, how they wanted to harm innocent people, but nobody seems to do anything. Even though we have all these background checks and all these red flag laws, but somehow they don't do anything. But when it comes to drug dealers, drug manufacturers, won't we say anything? When 70, 80,000 people that die from this stuff, the politicians, all they want to do is say, well, you know, our jails are full of them and they need treatment. They don't need jail time. They need treatment. Republicans say a little differently. They said, you know, we need more jail time. Democrats says, no, don't need jail time. They need treatment. But when it comes to a mass shooting, we hold this firearm in the American's face, and you say, this weapon belongs on the battlefield. There's no need for these magazines and these firearms. They don't belong in civilian hands. But they're not just after the ARs, they're after all the firearms. Now they'll tell you a lie. Oh, we're not out to do that. No, we're not. Just the ARs. You don't need that. Okay. But when it comes to these drug manufacturers and these dealers who deal in this death, that's what it is. You hear little from the media. You practically don't hear nothing from the politicians. They don't stand behind the podium and sit there and say, you know, 3 people here in this home died from the drug overdose of fentanyl. No, they rather talk about the 20 people or 10 people to 6 people who were shot at a mall or killed or injured at a school or a mall or a family outing or some other special event. Now, it is horrible. But the priorities are backwards here. They're so aggressive at us. They are aggressive to disarm the American people. It's like it's our responsibility to go after these people. Well, we can't do that because that's vigilantism. So their object is to strip all your property from these people. But when it comes to these drug dealers, these drug manufacturers who deal in death at an alarming rate that is catastrophic, we just need more treatment. There are users, yes, who want to get off this stuff, and yes, they do try to get help. That's what probation tries to work with these people. But when it comes to the others, yeah. So, what's the difference here? The difference is what we want. See, the way I look at this, and this is the way I look at this here, they're so worried about that firearm because they can hold it in their hand and show it to you. But when we talk about mental health issues, we can't hold that in the hand and hand it to you. Say this is mental health, and it's a big problem here. You know, it's where it is. No, we can hold an AR-15 and stick it in your nose. And say there's your problem. People get knifed on the street. Oh, we need more gun control. People get run over by a vehicle. Oh, we need more gun control. A home invasion. We need more gun control. Domestic dispute. We need more gun control. We need more red flag laws. But when it comes to these things, these red flag laws, what they're designed for, somehow just don't seem to do anything. But when it comes to this fentanyl stuff, they're silent on it. You're talking enormous amounts of innocent young lives that are lost because of this stuff. And it just doesn't seem like they're really that aggressive towards it. Unlike going after AR-15 and your Bill of Rights, of course. I don't understand too much to all these politicians, what they do. All I know is that for some freaking reason or other, their fixation on disarming the American people goes way beyond the point of common sense. Because it seems like we want to coddle the drug dealers, drug manufacturers, and the users. But when it comes to a mass shooting, we want to run this person right through the ringer, and all the people who own these firearms and everything else in between. Put manufacturers out of business, magazine out of business, ammunition out of business, strip the American people of their rights, and threaten them if we have to, who don't comply. When it comes to this, I don't get it. You got Title 42 is going to disappear soon. And we've all seen the masses at the borders right now. Now, border agents can only do what they can do. the amount of people they have and everything else. But technically their hands are tied because of an administration who's supposed to give the, who sets up the laws and everything. And they complain about the firearms. The illegal firearms, these manufacturers, these FFLs, Mexico and all the rest of them, that's what they bellyache on. But when it comes to this fentanyl and these drug deaths, they don't say a word about it. But why is that? Mexico's dealing with a drug war down here. A lot of stuff comes to the border. And some illegal guns too. Politicians don't even say a word about it. Like it doesn't exist. But they're more worried about the property you own. They're more worried about you own a firearm that they don't like. And they publicize this thing as mass shootings in your schools and your malls. But when you're talking about 70,000 to 80,000 people die from this stuff, they don't even address it. The media doesn't address it. They don't stand behind the podium and say, yeah, we got a problem here. No, we have a gun problem. That's what they keep telling the world. And the world responds to that. Yes, the U.S. has got a gun problem. But when it comes to this fentanyl and this drug problem and the drug cartels and the manufacturers, nobody says a word. It's completely ridiculous anymore because I don't understand. They're worried about you defending yourself. They're worried about because you own a firearm that they don't like, or firearms, or whatever it may be, or your beliefs in the Constitution, or you're a Republican, they call it right wing, and all this happy nonsense. But when these people are dying at the feet of these politicians, it's just like doesn't care. And when a Mexican who wants to come over here and sue the manufacturers along with 5 other 6 other countries, and our 13 state prosecutors want to do the same thing, what are you guys doing with this drug problem? Like you ignore this. Horrific shootings, yes, they're horrific. It's sad you get, 10, 20 people who are killed or injured by some deranged fool who might be on drugs or whatever it may be. But you're talking to 70,000, 80,000 people, young people and children. What are we doing? You want to crucify a mass shooter, but you don't want to crucify a drug dealer or a manufacturer. These guys should be be given a death sentence, in my opinion. But that's my opinion, because the amount of people they're killing. People use this. Understand what's going on around you. I know it's tough. We have family. Well, you guys have families. I don't. You people got to stop and really think here. These politicians are using people against each other, dividing us, coming up with all kinds of nonsense to get what they want. As long as you're distracted all around you, it's hard to focus on one particular thing, and I got that. Even now, sometimes I can't even believe what's going on around us. And how these politicians play a game. Do your research. Keep your friends and family close. I'll catch you around. And remember what's going on.